Good afternoon, Card Community. It is RJ back with another video, and it is time for the Sunday trivia recap. Hooray, loud cheers, mass hysteria, fireworks going off, cats and dogs living together, all sorts of amazing chaos and craziness, and yet we still have time for some awesome trivia and cool prizes. So, without further ado, let's get to it. So, on Monday's question, we're still with this day in baseball history theme. So, on this day in baseball history, May the 22nd, 1949, this Dodger great pitched his first victory of the year and would go on to have several more that year en route to winning Rookie of the Year and have a good and legendary career with the Dodgers. A lot of guesses, but the correct answer is Mr. Don Newcombe. Don Newcombe, total number of wins, 149 in his career. Had a long, distinguished, well, not long, but he had several years in the Negro Leagues prior to joining the majors. He was never really a candidate for the Hall of Fame. You could argue that because of his years in the Negro League, perhaps he would have been a better player. He did pitch for 10 years in the majors, so what would he have done had he been able to pitch his entire career in the majors? That argument is offered for dozens and dozens of major league players. Anyway, Dom Newcombe was the answer. The cool prize that was offered, this is a standalone single issue card, a non-licensed card of Ken Griffey Jr., issued in 1988, I believe, showing him in his San Bernardino Spirits uniform. It's the only card of its kind. I mean, there's millions of these out there. This is not a rare card, but it's not part of any other set. Whoever produced this just produced this one card to give out to people or to sell to people. So it is a unique card in that respect. That is your prize. The individuals on the screen here, and there were a lot of them from Monday's question, were kind enough to throw out a guess. I want to give them all credit. Take a look at all of I'm going to give a shout out to everybody. I'm going to take the time to do that. Goody G, Jeremy Michaels, Bears Baseball Cards, Tommy Markwell, Ken over at God is Great, Jimmy Lacari, Lisa Z, Adams Card Closet, Mike Line TV, Tim Howe, Wilbur Cookmeyer, and Shaw Racing Collectics. So those are the individuals who threw out a guess for this one. We will shuffle once and spin. You must hit 3 times on my channel to win the prize. I do that only because there's very few people who enter, and this helps kind of drive out the suspense and gives everybody a better chance to win rather than one and done. Good luck to everybody. So, it was a good week. This past week, got some cool things that I'll be happy to show off to you this coming week. I'm actually going to pre-record videos for the following week as well, because there's a lot of to-do next weekend at my house, and I don't know that I'll be able to film during next week, so I'm going to pre-record another series of videos for next week. This week upcoming is still the final installment of This Day in Baseball History Trivia. I'm going to move on to a different trivia format. I try to shake it up a little bit. Seem to always come back to This Week in Baseball History because it's a really fun way to throw out different trivia questions and interesting facts of the game's history. But I'm going to move on to a different format for the following week. Had a lot of cool pickups, like I said, which I'm going to share. But more than that, I was up at my sister-in-law's place. My wife's birthday was recently. We were up visiting her sister last night, Saturday night. And my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law's husband, mentioned, hey, I have something that you might be interested in. And I was like, oh yeah, what's that? And he goes, he has a couple brothers, but they were, I guess they were going through his dad's house. Not that his dad has deceased or nothing, but they were cleaning up in the basement or the attic or whatever. Oh, I'll continue that story in a moment. Jimmy Licari, 3 hits for you, sir. Yep, Jimmy Licari. So Jimmy Licari scores this cool San Bernardino Spirit Ken Griffey Jr. card. These are not rare by any stretch of the imagination, so if you want to get your own, they're readily available. But Jimmy is going to get that one. Congrats to you, sir. Moving on to Wednesday's question. So we will move on to Wednesday. Jimmy Licari cannot win. You can only win once a week on my channel. Jimmy, you are out. The question for Wednesday, this day in baseball history, May the 24th, 1935, the very first night game in professional Major League Baseball regular season competition occurred. Now, I caveat that for a reason. In the history of baseball, they had been experimenting with night baseball, with creating some form of light source so that you could play in the evening. And they had been doing that all the way back into the 1800s. They had strung lights for exhibition games many times. So there have been a number of games played under the lights as far back as the 1800s. But the first time Major League Baseball did it in a regularly seasoned scheduled game that was part of the regular season was this day, May the 24th, 1935. And I said, who were the 2 competitors? And the answer, there's a picture from that game, from the Cincinnati Enquirer, looking back. The first night game in Major League Baseball history was played May the 24th, 1935 at Crosley Field in Cincinnati. The Cincinnati Reds beat the Philadelphia Phillies 2-1. So that is the answer to that question. The prize, really cool card, Cincinnati, Ohio. So here is a card from Mike Schmidt, Ohio State Panthers, I suppose. This is from the Canadian Contenders baseball product from 2015. I believe it's part of the base set. They had a little subset in the base set called Season Ticket, which showed a lot of the current stars in their college days. This is the Mike Schmidt version. This happens to be an extra one I had, so I will offer this up as a cool prize. It was Ohio State. It's probably Ohio University because it doesn't say Ohio State, and I think it certainly would say Ohio State. It was Ohio State, so it's Ohio University. Mike Schmidt card from Canadian Contenders 2015. That is your prize. So the individuals on the screen here were kind enough to throw out a guess for that answer. Pretty much a lot of the same individuals from before, although Mike over at the Hot Corner threw in a guess. So we'll shout him out as well. Again, we will shuffle once and spin. You must hit 3 times, so good luck. So yeah, apparently one of his brothers had a collection of baseball cards. Now, it is a very thin binder of cards. I have gone through it already. And, you know, my brother-in-law is about 10 years younger than me. So his brother, I knew going into when I heard, oh, that's cool, I knew I was going to get a bunch of cards from the junk wax era. I just, you just know these things. Somebody says, oh, I got an old collection of baseball cards. In today's day and age, 99% of the time, what they have is a bunch of junk wax era cards that have 0 value. And that's what I got. I mean, there were about, I don't know, maybe 300 cards total. Some of them were like, it was a binder of, obviously 9 pocket pages and cards stuffed in there, sometimes tripled up, actually. They said that sometime in the past, a pipe had burst and spilled over the cards. Most of the cards were not damaged, so their assessment of what had, oh wow, Lisa Z, boom, boom, boom. Wasn't paying attention, but Lisa Z's got a 3 spot up there by her name, so congrats to Lisa. Lisa, you'll be getting this cool Mike Schmidt card for your collection. Congrats to you. We will move on. Going on to Friday's question. Friday. This day in baseball history, this was May the 26th, The date was the year was 1925. This legendary player knocked out his 1,000th career extra base hit, a feat no other player at that time had accomplished. Uh, the man's name, Ty Cobb. This is his this last year's 2022 Diamond Greats die cut card. It's interesting. I was doing the research on the question, and I was preparing for next week's videos as well. And the one of the historical databases for baseball said that Ty Cobb did that feat in on the 29th, not the 26th. So I'm not sure if they just made an error or what, but most sources had him doing it on the 26th. That was the answer. The prize for that one is this, I believe, a really cool card from 2021 Topps. It is called the Double Headers, and it shows the greats of baseball with their very first Topps issued released base card and their very last Topps issue released baseball card. So this is the Willie Mays version, obviously. 1952 Topps on the front, 1973 Topps on the back. Really cool card, I think. It's got the 70-year logo, so you're not going to be mistaken this for anything else other than a reprint. But that is the prize for that question. The individuals on the screen were kind enough to throw out a guess. Jamila Kari, you are out. Lisa Z, you are out. Everybody else still in. I'm going to actually clear their names just so it's easier to see the remaining names on the list up there. Shout out to Mike Line TV for getting in. So we will shuffle once again. Spin. Good luck to everybody on this one. So yeah, the binder I got, a whole bunch of, it's a lot of 89 upper decks, but no big name players at all. There was about 10 Hall of Fame players. There was a score, 1990 score Frank Thomas rookie card. There were a couple cards from the 2000 era upper deck. There was a Pedro Martinez card in there. There were a couple reprint from like a Topps Archive style set. They had a Yogi Berra, a Hank Aaron, which is kind of cool. And then some, I don't know, mid-level 1990s cards. I got a Larry Walker and a Barry Larkin, things like that. But again, there was nothing really of any value. And I told my brother-in-law, I said, listen, just so you know, this is what you have here. I mean, you know me. It's in the middle of my wife's birthday dinner, but I'm thumbing through cards. Because he hands me a binder and said, here, you can have these. So there were a lot of cards that were damaged. Some of the 89 upper decks were, paper loss all over the place and whatnot. But again, we don't, a lot of times someone hands you a binder of cards and says, here, you can have this. Your first thought is not, oh, is it worth my time? No, your first thought is, let me see what you got. Excellent. All right. So, God is great. So that's his second one. We got a lot of people with 2 up there. This one's filling out nicely. So anyway, I'll be showing those off in a couple weeks. I've already filmed the other videos for this coming week. Is that 3? That was 3 for Tommy Markwell. All right, Tommy, congrats to you, sir. I'll be sending out to you this awesome Willie Mays card. Hope you enjoy that. I hope everybody else enjoyed what we've just gone through, enjoyed the trivia, enjoyed the fun, enjoyed the free prizes. I hope you guys do appreciate all this. I do enjoy doing it. I have a lot of fun with this. Appreciate the likes, comments, subscriptions. Please consider like, subscribe, commenting, all that jazz. Again, I appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate your support. I try my best to support everybody else as best as I can. So come back again next week. I've already got a lot of great stuff tuned up for you. Doing an old school box rip on Wednesday and Friday, and Monday is May the 29th, which is the Mike Schmidt retirement date. So I got a lot of Mike Schmidt honorary things to show off on Monday. So Tomorrow's Monday, Memorial Day. Hope you enjoy the weekend, okay? Thanks for watching. Tune in again soon. Take care.